¿Qué pasó, José Luis? There's eat your broccoli. Hello, sweetheart. Karen M. Hello, how are we doing? Friends in code. ¿Qué pasó, vato? I just want to hear this story today. We have well, not quite a few, but there's about five chapters in this one. Awesome, guys, awesome. Glad my notifications are going out now. Fucking friends in code. Hey, Khadijah Reeves. Good afternoon from Wilcox, Arizona. Alrighty. I'll read the introduction here, then we'll get started on chapter 1. Eight on Mouse. This is in Arizona. At least I think it is here. Should have a map in here somewhere. Yeah, yeah, it's in Arizona. Yeah, this is all Arizona here, right around Tombstone, in that area. But I'll go ahead and read the intro. Oh, here we go. I'll show you the map here in a minute. Yeah, it's right here on the first chapter. This Tombstone owes its beginning. Uh-oh. That's the ambulance. Hey, Violet. Welcome. Liked your video earlier. That was pretty nice. Yeah, that was just the ambulance. We're going to get started on the introduction. Tombstone owes its beginning to Ed Schieffelin, who prospected the nearby hills. From nearby Fort Huachuca, Schieffelin told a soldier that the mountain's rich colors looked very promising for mineral wealth. The soldier sneered, "All you find in those hills is your tombstone." However, in February 1878, Schieffelin found a vein of rich silver ore and registered two claims. The tombstone and the graveyard. He took an ore sampling to his brother Al in Signal, Arizona, and they returned to Tombstone with assayer Richard K. Gerd, who had found the ore to be very rich in silver. Along the way, Ed located two more silver claims which he registered as the Lucky Cuss and Tough Nut. Today, the Good Enough, also one of Shiflin's mine founded in 1878, provides underground tours. While Tombstone acquired a reputation as a hell-raising settlement, the nearby towns of Charleston, Gleason, and Milltown, also called Millville, as well as other places around Tombstone, had their fair share of local rowdiness. This, with the courage to administer the law, did it swiftly with no appeal. These towns also had churches, some of which are still practicing, schools, banks, and local newspapers. Tombstone is best remembered for the notorious gunfight at the OK Corral, where the feud between the Erb brothers, Doc Holliday, the Clans, and the McLaurys erupted in the famous shootout that lasted for less than a minute on October 26, 1881. Just who shot first is still a matter of great historical debate and has been the subject of many barroom arguments and history's mysteries. The television show. What it is known as that a hail of gunfire, and less than 30 seconds after the opening shot, 3 men lay dead and 3 were wounded. Virgil Earp had been shot in the leg and Morgan Earp through both shoulders. Only Wyatt Earp survived the fight unwounded. As Tombstone's population grew, so did its political power. In 1881, the Arizona legislature established Cochise County with Tombstone as a county seat. The beautiful Tombstone Courthouse, which is now in the National Register of Historic Places, was built in 1882 at a cost of $50 grand. Many colorful characters, including Johnny Ringo, Johnny Behind the Deuce, Curly Bill Brocious, Three-Fingered Jack Dunlap, and Fatty Rind, made Tombstone a special place. Today, the entire town of Tombstone is preserved and on the National Register of Historic Places. The Crystal Palace Saloon serves customers, and the OK Corral features reenactments of the famous shootout. Tourists stroll along Allen Street, once full of bars and bordellos. The original Cochise County Courthouse, now an Arizona State Historic Park, features exhibits and artifacts that tell of Tombstone's colorful past. Visitors walk along rows of graves in Boot Hill Cemetery, where many died with their boots actually on. The Birdcage Theater, the site where the song "She's Only a Bird in a Gilded Cage" was composed, showcases photographs and documents of people who visited Tombstone, and a person can still have lunch or dinner at the famous Nellie Cashman's. Hey, just a guy having fun. Welcome in. I'm just reading the intro here. And Anon Mouse, this is the map. Hold on. Which is going to be Charleston. We have Tombstone up here, and here's Charleston. It's a little southwest of Tombstone. Okay, so we shall start chapter 1. If a corpse had a gun on him and the fatal shot came from the front, you didn't look for the killer. Such was one resident's memory of Charleston. Charleston was tougher and wilder than nearby Tombstone. Its post office was established on April 17, 1879, with Charles D. Handy, who gave the town its name, as a postmaster. The 1880 U.S. Census put Charleston's population at 350. Over the next 2 years, that figure rose to 800. Charleston had 13 to 15 saloons, 4 mercantile stores, butcher shops, restaurants, 2 Chinese laundries, a telegraph office, misused boarding house, the Eagle and Royal hotels, a church, a school, corrals, and private homes. Clantons of the renowned gunfight had the first boarding house in Charleston when Ike Clanton erected a canvas hotel structure which was used until more substantial buildings were constructed. Arizona Territory Governor Anson P.K. Safford visited Tombstone in 1879 and offered to build a 10-stamp mill at the closest source of water, the San Pedro River. Millville provided the mill, and Charleston developed because of it. Taxes on gambling and prostitution funded education and local government administration. Wow. Hard to believe gambling and prostitution funded that kind of stuff. Charleston's Justice of the Peace, Jim Burnett, administered law and order in Charleston. He held trial anytime at any place and served as both judge and jury. His swift justice held no appeals in his court. Burnett collected and pocketed the fines, leaving him with no shortage of funds. His career ended on July 7, 1897, when William Green, a local rancher, shot and killed Burnett outside of the Can-Can restaurant in Tombstone. Burnett had destroyed a dam belonging to Green. When the water swept down the wash, it downed two little girls, and one of them was Green's daughter. Green never came to trial for killing Burnett. A minor strike in 1890, combined with a drop in silver prices, further reduced the ore output. Mill production declined, and in 1903, the addition of a railroad to Tombstone enabled the ore to be shipped cheap. People left to find work in other places. Today, Charleston is administered by the Bureau of Land Management, as located within the San Pedro riparian area. Most artifacts from Charleston have been removed, but the north side of town still has petroglyphs across the river from Charleston and the remains of the old stamp mill. If I didn't miss anybody, let me go ahead and see if I didn't miss anybody here. Okay. If I missed anybody, welcome in. If you guys want to share each other's links, you guys can go ahead and do that. Photography was still a novelty in the 1880s, especially in a place remote even for its time, like Charleston. Everyone stopped what they were doing and put on their best smiles. This wagon is probably about to be loaded with groceries and other merchandise before returning home to a ranch. We all say cheese. Yeah, people back then weren't scared of photography, guys. Sam Katzenstein, an early Jewish pioneer in Arizona, ran a mercantile in Charleston. He was a colorful character who played a concertina to entertain his children and nieces as well as his barroom patrons. Charleston, founded in 1879, served as a milling site for ore mined in the silver mines of nearby Tombstone. The Millville mill shut down at the end of 1885, striking the death knell for Charleston. An earthquake on May 3, 1887, believed to have been a 7.0 on the Richter scale, left crumbling adobes and burning embers in southern Arizona Territory and northern Mexico. 30 minutes of continued tremors reduced most of the adobe buildings to rubble, and Charleston was never rebuilt. The fires created from the falling rocks on extremely dry brush produced an ash that sifted down into the San Pedro River. A few people stayed for a few years after the earthquake, but the post office closed in 1888. Charleston was the mill center. Excuse me, guys. Charleston was the mill center for the reduction works of the Tombstone Milling and Mining Company. It was also the center for cattle thieves and soldiers from nearby Fort Huachuca, who were bent on having a rip-roaring good time. Although Tombstone did not have an adequate water source, Charleston was built on the banks of the San Pedro River, which had a year-round water supply. In its heyday, Charleston boasted a population of more than 350 people, as well as a school, mercantile laundries, and plenty of saloons. The smoke in the distance comes from Millville, and the two-story house belonged to Richard Gerd, who completed the original essay work on Ed Schieffelin's tombstone discoveries. Um, just a guy. I don't know if you were talking to me about doing metal detecting or anything, but no, I have never done that. I don't have a metal detector. Although there is a resident that does live here, he does that every once in a while. Whenever we have any kind of events or anything, he'll come around and look around with his metal detector. The Charleston smelter belched black smoke into the air as it refined the tombstone ore. Nevertheless, belching smokestacks were that what every town wanted to show off their prosperity. Little consideration was given to air pollution and miners' health. I appreciate you, Karen, for dropping everybody's link. That's very, very awesome of you. I appreciate that. With the arrival of the automobile in the early 1900s, residents in towns like Charleston and nearby Cortland found themselves ready to get dressed in their finest outfits and take a spin. Pictured here is the Southern Arizona Auto Company. Stevens Duryea was an early automobile manufacturer. The company established rental sites all over the United States, many with only one car. In 1901, J. Frank Duryea built the pilot model for the first Stevens automobile as part of the J. Stevens Arms and Tool Company in Chicopee Falls, Massachusetts. This five-passenger car had Westinghouse air shock absorbers, a spring-loaded front bumper, and at the time was the only car with a one-piece windshield. It cost around $5,000, and today this grand old touring car would be worth at least $250,000. Yeah, guys. Back then it was $5,000, and today could be worth at least $250,000. Wow. It's amazing that when people have these kind of cars and stuff, they take really good care of them. Now, if they had these kind of cars, they'd be in some money. Jacob W. Swartz bought Frank Stillwell's Charleston Saloon in early 1881. Drinks were advertised for 12.5 cents, which would have been 1 bit. 2 bits in the United States is a quarter of 25 or 25 cents. The bit expression dates from colonial days when a common unit of currency was the Spanish milled dollar. To make change, a dollar would have been cut into 8 pie-shaped pieces called bits. Stillwell was involved in the events leading up to the gunfight at the OK Corral. Wider considers Stillwell to be the main suspect in his brother Morgan's murder. And if you've heard of Morgan Earp, he was just at this corner place right here, which is a wine tasting place. It was a bar back then, and this is where Morgan Earp had a confrontation with another person there. Pictured here is a view of Charleston around 1882. Interestingly, in 1943, troops from nearby Fort Huachuca used the old Charleston town site as a gunnery range for recruits to practice street fighting with live ammunition. It was dubbed Little Tunisia by the troops because of it. Because Arizona and Tunisia and South Africa are approximately the same latitude and have a similar environment. The Charleston Sunday School had a small attendance of the faithful. Although the West was full of rowdy, hell-raising towns, there were these who established churches and schools and tried to make the place like Charleston livable. Ooh. Billy Old, an Uvalde, Texas native, was a member of the short-lived Arizona Rangers. In 1907, Lieutenant Billy Old's assignment was to clean out northern Arizona of thieves, murderers, and cattle rustlers above the Colorado River. He had 5 men to help him. He returned to Tombstone in October to testify before a grand jury concerning an arrest he had made before his transfer. Old remarked, "It is certainly mighty fine to be back in the lowlands where it is not necessary to be bundled up in heavy woolens and overcoats." Hey, realist, welcome in, brother. Spent 24 hours in Tunisia. Never hear anyone mention it, let alone know it. Yeah, you never know with these books, man. It's a lot of different places around. But pictured here are from left to right 3 members of the Arizona Rangers: Lieutenant William Billy Old, Private Cy Byrne, and Private Sam Black. Billy Old was small in stature and fast with the gun. However, Billy Old loved the ladies a little too much, and on April 28, 1914, he was shot and killed by his wife, Annie in Pierce. And Pierce is just about 15, 20 minutes tops drive. He ran into the street screaming for help, but it was too late. Annie appeared at his funeral in manacles. The pen and the sword. Alright, guys, that's gonna conclude the first chapter. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything, feel free to ask. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button, guys. Hey, just the guy. Anytime, man. Anytime. Friends in Code, there is five chapters. Yeah. 5 capítulos. Yeah. Yes, sir. And tomorrow, next one is, I just showed it to you guys. Chapter 2, Cortland, Gleason, St. David, Fairbank, and Pierce. So tomorrow, um, I could, shit, if you guys want to hear another one, I don't mind doing another one. Drop me some ones, guys, if you guys want me to drop another one. I could do another chapter if you guys want to hear another one. Well, I mean, some Stephen King. I'd have to I have to check out a book. That would probably be something I would do. Probably near October. You know, the month of October, since it's Halloween in that month. And that is my favorite month. Well, I did do one of these images of America books on Southern Arizona cemeteries. If you want to go ahead and check that one out, I mean, I don't know if that'll scare you, but Stephen King is a lot scarier though. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do another one. The ones have it. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, tapatíos. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Yeah, we did chapter one, tapatíos, and just did a quick vote if they wanted me to do chapter two, since there's only five in this book. So we'll go ahead and do chapter two, guys. This is Cortland, Gleason, St. David, Fairbank, and Pierce. If you guys go ahead and hit that like button on the way in. Cortland, Gleason, and Pierce, now ghost towns, were once thriving mining towns. Cortland's post office was established on March 13th, 1909. And the area at one time had more than 2,000 residents. W.J. Young, owner of the Great Western Mining Company, named the town for his brother Cortland Young. A butcher store, mercantile, Wells Fargo office, Southern Arizona Auto Company owned by Stevens and Duryea, and the Mexico and Colorado Railroad from Douglas all thrived in Cortland. For entertainment, there was a swimming pool and a cinema, as well as baseball games and horse races. Unfortunately, when the mines played out, so did the town. The post office was discontinued on September 30th, 1942. Almost nothing is left of Cortland except the ruins of the jail, stone walls at one collapsing store, a cemetery south of the town, and plenty of mines and mine shafts that tell a story of a more prosperous time. Wow, it's kind of sad that, towns get left like that, and, they have cemeteries there, and nobody there to take care of that kind of stuff. That's kind of sad. In 1900, John Gleason, an Irish miner from the town of Pierce, prospected in the old turquoise area, found copper, and started the Copper Bell mine. The area became known as Gleason and had a population of about 500 people. The town was moved closer to water resources. In 1912, a fire burned down the town, but it was built because of the large body of copper ore produced there. John Gleason sold his claims in 1914. Although copper production flourished during World War I, after the war prices dropped and the mines closed. The post office closed on March 31st, 1939. The hospital, saloon, jail, and school ruins still exist, along with the cemetery on the road to Tombstone. The St. David community was founded in 1877 by Mormons who named the site after David W. Patton, an apostle in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Fairbank was named after Chicago investor Nathaniel Kellogg Fairbank. A railroad man who provided capital to open the Tombstone silver mines. On February 15th, 1900, Fairbank was the scene of a gunfight between lawman Jeff Davis Milton and members of the Burt Alvord gang, resulting in the killing of Three-Finger Jack Dunlap and the wounding of both Milton and Bravo Juan Yayos during the gang's attempt at a train robbery. Now it is a ghost town, but during the 1880s, Fairbank was home to a post office, mills, railroad lines, school, and a hotel. The last few residents were evicted in the 1970s when the buildings were declared unsafe. The remaining structures at Fairbank include a small town schoolhouse, 2 wooden houses, and a wooden outhouse. Yeah, the Tapatíos, that's the one that it fell over, bro. I do have a video that these people here at the depot. There's a camera right there that was facing right here, and they have a video that I posted on my community page. And I was here that day too when it fell. Not well, not at the exact time when it fell, but I was here like maybe 5 or 6, and then this tree fell down approximately about maybe 10:24. But I do have the video in my community page if you want to check that out. For several years, Johnny Pierce and his wife lived in Tombstone, where he mined and she managed a boarding house. They ranched in Sulphur Springs Valley near present-day Pierce. One evening in 1894, while riding his range, Pierce stopped to rest at the top of a small hill and his burro wandered off. While searching for the animal, Pierce found a rock that was heavier than it should be, and he knew he had struck gold. Pierce filed claim for the Commonwealth mine and people flocked to the area. A post office opened in Pierce in March 1896 and the Pierce Railroad Station opened in 1903. The mine was worked until 1904 when cave-ins caused a temporary shutdown. Cortland, Arizona was named after Cortland Young, brother of W. J. Young, who established the Great Western Mining Company, which operated several mines in the Tombstone area. The post office, which also housed the Wells Fargo office, was established on March 13, 1909, with Henry Locke as the postmaster. Folks now come in their automobile to pick up their mail. The post office was discontinued on September 30th, 1942. Only faded letters remain on the commercial company building, which was once the hub of Fairbank, Arizona. The town was named for Nathaniel K. Fairbank, who organized the Grand Central Mining Company in Tombstone. Fairbank was one of the stockholders in the railroad line that ran from Fairbank to Benson to New Mexico, Mexico. This is an early photograph of Nathaniel Fairbank from left. The building in the shadows is an old hotel which has stood since the early 1880s. Fairbank's early life was spent in New York, where he became a journeyman bricklayer. He later went to Chicago, where he learned the manufacture of soap and lye. After making $5 million in the Chicago stockyards, he joined the Chicago Board of Trade. Yeah, brother. Yeah, that was it's a Siberian elm, and they said it was 100 years old. But one of the residents that lived here, I seen her comment on one of the Facebook pages, and she said that it was planted in 1929 or 1928. So I'm not sure about all that, but they said it was 100 years old. This is a view of the prosperous home of a Fairbank resident. In the early 1880s, Nathaniel Fairbank invested heavily in the Tombstone mines. He also promoted the Santa Fe, Prescott, and Phoenix Railroad. He later promoted the Congress mine in central Arizona and the Maxwell Land Grant in New Mexico. Fairbank died in Chicago at the age of 73 on March 27, 1903. Yeah, the Wild Wild West. Oh, awesome, man. I didn't know. Yeah, I keep forgetting you were a tour guide, Eminem. Welcome in, brother. I appreciate you dropping in, man. Yeah, and Tapatios, yeah, they were gonna make this into a playground for the kids here. So there were some ideas that they had put on Facebook. I'll see if I can share some of those pictures. But old crumbling adobe walls remain of Gleason, Arizona. In 1889, John Gleason married Elizabeth Cummings from Syracuse, New York. They had 8 children, John and Elizabeth, and Irish immigrants arrived in Tombstone via Iowa and Colorado in the 1880s. This frugal couple saved their money from John's earnings as a miner and Elizabeth's work runnings at a boarding house. When the mines at Tombstone played out, they moved, and John discovered rich mines in the Gleason area. Long before the white man came to this area, Native Americans mined the turquoise mines. In 1925, Gleason's oldest son, Edward, who ran a garbage at Bowie, Arizona, was killed in a car accident. Hey, the Nutta! All work, no play. Welcome in, fellas. Good to see you guys. Pictured here is an early cattle roundup in southern Arizona. These longhorn cattle were tough and they learned to forage for food and live on what the desert would produce until they were brought to market. If you guys can go ahead and subscribe to each other, man, build. Yeah, pretty much, man. It's like just here, Eminem. They're just right here on Railroad Avenue here. They got two wine tasting places there. This is not the only ones here, but there are several around here. You got one that's just right up over here at the corner, and one back here, then another one over here across the tracks. Picture here. Oh wait, yeah, I already read that. These magnificent long wagon trains were a common sight in the late 1880s. Note the small wheels on the front of the wagon, which would make for easier, safer turns. Here the train is picking up supplies and piers to take to the mine. On its return trip, it would take ore from the mines to places where it could be milled and shipped out by train. Roads had to be built through dangerous, rough country for wagon trains. Yeah, yes, sir. That's right, man. Everywhere there's history, man. Everywhere. Everywhere. This road ran from the Grand Mountains to Pierce and then on to Dragoon Mountains. Frequently, passages were narrow and treacherous. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, like in Tombstone, man. It's a lot of the even the bars that are there too. It's still pretty much the same. I haven't been to Tombstone in who knows how long, man. It's been a while. I would like to go there, man, but unfortunately, I don't have a bike. I only have a bike, so pedaling there is out of the question. You know, I could probably do it, but that would take a long time. All right. This is the last page for chapter 2, guys. Um, St. David was established as a Mormon colony around 1877. With a shortage of building supplies, at least one enterprising soul constructed his home out of railroad ties. During the first year, the pioneers built a rock fort about 60 square feet in size. They also endured the hazards of malaria. Yee. Yeah, look at that, guys. And that's pretty awesome, man. Built that out of railroad ties. Hey, I'll work. I lived here all 42 years of my life, bro. Pictured is John Reed, just one of the many mining pioneers. He appears to be quite comfortably off for his occupation and the time. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. We did chapters 1 and 2 out of a round tombstone.
Hey, Jose. Hi.
Hey.
I'm Otto.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Oh no, what? I didn't want to interrupt your reading.
Oh, right on, man.
I thought you might could use a bookmark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Love you, buddy.
What?
Have a good day.
Damn. Hey,
No, don't you worry about it. Just appreciate what you're doing.
oh, I just want to get you on camera, man.
Yeah, sure. So I was riding through
shoot.
town.
It's Otto the Watchdog, guys.
Hi. So we had to get you to read another chapter because I was 7 minutes out and I didn't want to miss you.
Oh, okay.
So I appreciate you for doing that. Thanks.
Oh, man, that's...
Yeah.
Hey. Dude, thank you so much,
No
man.
problem, buddy.
Hey,
No problem, man.
when I was live streaming that one time over here about the tree, I didn't quite understand what you meant, like, by this was, like, funny or something.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know if somebody might have hacked your account or something like that.
Oh, I have no idea. I say things. Sometimes I say things.
I'm sorry, dude. I just thought you were, like, being, like
Oh, no.
disrespectful or
Oh,
something.
no.
Or something like
I
that.
wouldn't be disrespectful.
Oh.
No, that's definitely not.
Yeah, dude,
Probably-
that's my bad,
Probably
man.
a joke that didn't play well. You know. Yeah,
Yeah, that's my bad, man.
no problem. Yeah, this is kind of sad, isn't it?
Yeah, they're gonna make a playground out of it for the kids here. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Just like that.
um,
That would be even cooler.
I guess they had some ideas that I was looking at on for the city of Wilcox, and they had some ideas like maybe like a wooden train or something like something like
Right.
that or something just like with this here, just for the kids to climb around on. I don't know, man, but they have quite a few ideas. I was gonna
Right.
put some pictures up and everything. Yeah, it was friends in code, man. I was talking on the phone with Otto. Hey, where are you from?
I'm from all over. I'm originally from Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll have to get you on block, man, because I thought you were like.
I'm not blocked.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because that.
Yeah, I was just in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Wasn't me.
right.
Maybe it was somebody else, man.
I'll have to go back and check the
Hey, who
settings
knows?
on your
I'm
channel.
not worried about it either way. So, I just, I was like I said, I was coming through town, and I saw you live, and I was like, hey, you don't come through this way too often. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I just
wow,
wanted to
that's
stop by
pretty
and say
awesome,
hi.
man. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. I don't get a lot of people here, man.
Oh,
but-
I can't imagine why. Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like kind of far out from everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I actually there's a guy that's in Bisbee, Bisbee News Network.
Yeah.
He came down once with me, and we went around town for a little bit. And, about a few years ago, during Rex Allen days in October, I had some people come from Tucson. I don't know if you know Tucson Lori,
Yeah.
El Charro Negro,
Yep.
and Desert Goat.
Yeah, a bunch of good guys over there.
Yeah, they all came down and visited and just hung out at the park, and
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like serious, man, for
Hey,
real.
no problem, buddy. Give me some of
Hey,
that.
man.
Do you got a computer?
Ah, this is the only thing
That's
I
all you
got.
got? Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I mean, I did 2 years on the cell phone.
Yeah,
It's not easy. So,
if I do any editing, I just use like just the app that I got.
yeah.
And if I got the room on my phone too, man.
Yeah. Well, I got a body camera, but it's computer reliant, so that wouldn't be quite fair, would it? You kind of gotta do a lot of shifting files to the computer to make it work.
Yeah.
But there's other options, that have Wi-Fi capability. This one just doesn't have it, so
Oh, okay.
we'll see what's up about that.
All right.
If that's something you're interested in,
Well,
you know.
well, it'll be quite a while. I mean, if I could even afford a computer or a laptop or
It's
something.
it's a whole other thing, yeah.
But if
I
I
mean,
can
you
use it at the
you can send
library
it to your
too,
phone and do it that way. If it's got the capability, you can send it directly to your
like Bluetooth.
yeah
Oh, okay.
from the camera to your phone, so you can do all the stuff through the phone
All right.
that way. But this one doesn't have that capability, so we'll see about that. We'll see what we can do about that.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Well,
I don't want to interrupt you, but
I'm already done. I'm already
Oh,
done. I
good.
did the first chapter. Then friends and Cody was like, "Well, how long are you gonna keep the stream live for?" I was like, "Well, if you guys want me to read another chapter, then give me one."
Yeah.
So
So
everybody dropped the one, man.
I was coming through Pierce.
Yeah.
That's the next town in the between the gap, right?
Oh yeah, just right through here.
Yeah. That way then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was coming through there and I was like, oh man, I'm like, I need 5 more minutes. So, yeah.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. Hope you have a good day.
Hey, but yeah, man. Yeah, it's just leaving last night too, man. And just filming the cops over here by the auto zone there.
Right.
And that new cop, man, he took quite a while on that stop. And looked like he was fishing for something because he kept going back to the other officer, checking with him, and then going back to his vehicle, doing something on his computer. And the driver of the Bronco, he looked like he wanted to get out, and he turned his lights on, and then he turned them off, closed his door like at least twice.
Right. Well, it's scary.
And after that
Yeah.
stop was over, he even followed the guy out of the parking lot. Like I was like, that's no good, man. You can't be doing that. That's like intimidation.
It's definitely terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is. Especially in small towns, it's like they can get away with so much.
Yeah,
Small
I mean,
towns, like especially a small county,
yeah,
and then you're in the biggest town in the smallest county.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous combination. So
yeah. I mean,
just be safe out there.
yeah. I always, try to watch out,
Stay
for
on the
things like
sidewalk.
that. Everything they do, I just, keep a good distance, but
Yeah.
just be close enough to where I can actually hear what's going on.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, a lot has changed, I mean, just, filming them and stuff like that. And the one time too, this kid got pulled over, and he told me that they pulled him over. Oh, when I had pulled up myself, I heard the cop say that he pulled him over for the headlight. And just a minute, like maybe 20 seconds into it, he was already searching in the car.
Right.
And I was like, why is he in his car if he's just telling him for his headlight? And later on, the guy that got pulled over, he subscribed to my channel and told me everything.
Right.
Said he had like flakes or something that were on his keychain that his mama gave him, of marijuana.
Right.
I mean, like, marijuana is not illegal here. It's you can carry up to an ounce.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
That's handy.
but I mean,
Right. Well, I mean,
So-
there's been people had a little vial of ashes hanging from their rearview mirror,
yeah,
and they tested it, which they opened a sealed vial to test it, and then it came back positive for ecstasy, and that's impossible.
yeah,
There's no way. Charges ended up being dismissed, but
yeah.
by that time you're screwed. Most people are screwed.
Yeah.
Just going through the system. So it's better to avoid it if possible. But we're obviously here because sometimes you just can't. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for give you a little bit of support.
Hey man, that means a lot, dude. I mean, just coming a long way just from wherever you live, man.
I came from. I'm actually on the way to California from South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So this is like kind of halfway.
All right. Shit, well, I'll be sure to check out your channel too, man.
Hey,
Shit.
appreciate it, man. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to apologize again, man. I just thought, dude, when you came into my live stream, like, you were the only one, and I thought you were just being, just.
I have absolutely no doubt that I probably said something that could have easily been taken as offensive. I gotta have that ability. It's a superpower. It's just not very beneficial all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
I gotta watch more of your channel so that way I know what you're like and everything.
Oh yeah, I'm a sarcastic asshole. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you have a great day, buddy. I'm gonna head on down the road. But
Hey, right on, man.
yeah,
Hey,
I'll keep an eye out for you.
Hey guys, this Otto, guys. Otto the
Bye.
Watchdog, man. Hey, you have
Nice
a
meeting you, buddy.
safe drive, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, that was pretty awesome, man. Otto the Watchdog, guys. Stopped here in good old Wilcox, Arizona. Friends of Code, man. I appreciate you keeping me on for a little bit, man. Yeah, he's a pretty good, nice guy, man. With all that being said, much love to all you guys, and much respect, and everybody watch your back when you're out there filming the police. So definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, and I'll be checking out more of his channel now. Now that I got to actually talk to him in person. So it's pretty awesome of him to stop by. Oh, he's on his way out, guys. Otto the Watchdog, man. Yeah, and that was my fault, just how I took it the wrong way. So I'll be definitely checking out more of his channel there. So with that being said, guys, this is Jose G here in Wilcox, and I appreciate you guys stopping by with me. Much love, guys. Peace.